Rocky Horror Show, live. Opening Halloween night at the Marion Cultural and Civic Center. You've seen the movie. Now the all-new production of the all-time cult classic is coming to Southern Illinois, live on stage.
I'm just a sweet transvestite.
The Rocky Horror Show, live.
From transsexual.
Tickets on sale now at the Marion Cultural and Civic Center box office or online at marioncccc.com. Opening October 31st for 2 nights only.
Welcome back to the show, the Union Street Podcast. Here in studio with Vincent Segretario. Let's hear it for him. Thanks for being here, Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
And you heard it here, folks. The Rocky Horror Show Live is coming back to the Marion Civic Center on Halloween, October 31st, November 1st. You guys don't want to miss this. We're going to talk with Vinny about the history of this amazing show here in Marion, how long it's been here, the cult following that it has, and just have a little fun too, Vinny, walking down memory lane, hearing how this show even got started and some of the impacts. So thanks for being in studio, Vinny.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's just start with the show here. We heard the promo, but tell us about Rocky Horror, the live show coming up here at the Civic Center.
So this will be the 13th year we're doing the Rocky Horror Show live by it's Skyline Creek Productions, my company. So we've been doing, this will be the 13th year, which is crazy to think how long it's lasted. And it's like the show that just won't go away.
It's a fan favorite here in the community. And if you're a part of the theater scene here, you know how prolific this show has been and how fun it is and become a part of people's Halloween here in Marion and Southern Illinois.
Yeah.
What a draw.
It's totally a yearly tradition. And it's pretty insane to me to think that, I've met a lot of people who have not even seen the movie, but they know about our show.
Wow.
Or their introduction to Rocky was through our show, and now they're big fans of the movie. So it seems like that just it being a local thing here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It has its own cult.
It does.
Which is pretty crazy to me.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. I think a lot of people would say that for here. They know it through this show, not necessarily through the movie, which, if you know the deeper lore into Rocky Horror, is not the case.
Right. And I think that's just kind of why it blows my mind so much, is because I never expected it to be that deep, especially that deeply rooted in the local culture. Whether it's local theater, local nightlife, anything, I never expected it to be that deeply rooted to where people are finding out about this counterculture through our show first, which is crazy because it's usually the other way around. You usually watch the movie first, you stumble upon it, you see it in a theater, whatever, and then you find out about the following and the entire culture around it. So, yeah.
So for somebody that doesn't know anything about Rocky Horror, what is it for somebody that has no clue?
The Rocky Horror Show is for one, it is the biggest cult classic of all time. We'll just put that there. But a little bit of context, the Rocky Horror Show started out as an experimental musical in the UK. And it opened in 1973 in a theater that was above a bigger theater. It was like almost in an attic. It was something like 63 seats. The author and composer, Richard O'Brien, starred in the original production as well as the movie later on, alongside Tim Curry, who we all know now has since become a major star over the decades. And a lot of the cast that went on to make Rocky Horror Picture Show in 1975, the musical opened in 1973, a lot of the cast was in the movie. But what is it about? It's a show about sexual liberation, in the guise of horror and the covert of science fiction, with the homage to the old horror and science fiction movies that we see. It's a new take on the Frankenstein sort of story, but we're trading the traditional wardrobe for 6-inch high heels and fishnets and corsets and all the shocky sort of stuff that you see with Rocky. But yeah, so it's an interesting story because when it opened, then the musical opened, it quickly got really popular, and it got a lot of press acclaim, and it moved to LA at one point. There's a production of it at the Roxy on Sunset Strip, and it later was popular enough a musical at that stage to where it became a movie, and it was financed through 20th Century Fox, and
major motion picture.
It became a major motion picture, So it had that level of popularity, but nothing could compare to what it would become. But before that could happen, it flopped majorly, and it's just one of those things that just became dead silent after. It just came and it went really quick. But a genius at 20th Century Fox, I believe, had this brilliant idea of putting it on the midnight circuit. And so it started playing in New York, and people started going, and people started to really kind of get what the movie was about. And they really, those je ne sais quoi things about it really just got swept up in it, and it became a firestorm from there. And it very quickly just became the biggest cult phenomenon of all time. And it still goes to this day. And you can't say enough about how much of an impact it's had on all sectors of culture and subculture. It's everywhere. It's everywhere you see. It's everywhere you can't see.
So what a ride, from flopping, from starting the theater in UK to coming to New York, LA, all that stuff. But how did it become a cult classic? And can you explain the movie aspect of people, what they would do when playing the movie and that aspect of it?
So historically, we credit people like Dory Hartley, who was the very first person to dress up as Frankenfurter at a screening of Rocky Horror in New York. Her story starts off, she just went to see the movie with a friend or friends, and she was looking at the screen, and as soon as Tim Curry came out for his big first number, Sweet Transvestite, she couldn't speak, and she just was so enamored with him and wanted to become Frankenfurter. So she started dressing up as Frankenfurter, and that's something we see still, is people dressing up as characters, their favorite characters, and kind of living out this fantasy in this night, and surrounded by friends, and and then at some point someone started responding to this or yelling callbacks to the screen, just for, I'm sure, puerile drunken fun, but that's something that caught on, and this is in the 70s. It's, we didn't have there was no social media, there was no immediacy, there was nothing that really, you had something and you ran with it. And for a lot of people, this was their thing to do. And so it just became a very dedicated cult following very quickly. And being it just how weird it is, it allowed, and by weird, I mean just the subject matter and the way it looks, the way it's shot, everything about it. It gave a safe haven for the weirdos and the outcasts. It became like their nightclub.
Yeah. And one of my favorite parts of the live show, seeing it for the first time, back in, what was the first year here that you guys...
13 years ago, that would be 2012, the year that the world was supposed to end.
Oh my gosh, the Mayan calendar. I remember that because I was probably just graduating high school, freshman year of college.
I believe it was supposed to be December 21st, 2012.
That's right.
12,
that's right.
21,
Yes.
12.
Right. So
I was like, we have to do Rocky Horror Show live before the world ends.
right. So that's one of my favorite things about the live production is the interaction with the audience, hearing the call outs. And that's a super fun experience as an audience member, but I'm sure it is for the performers as well. It adds a very unique live theater element. And you're performing again this year, Vinny, which is exciting.
Yeah, I think, going off what you were saying about how it makes it a unique, a really fun element of a live performance is, whenever you yell something at a character live on stage, we might shoot you a little side eye or acknowledge you, and it gives it this furthering of audience participation that already exists in Rocky, with props and dressing up. But it really, and sometimes we'll just straight talk to you or we'll say something back to you. And, yeah, I think ad-libbing is one of the funnest and most creative things you can do in theater. And Rocky gives you the perfect opportunity to do just that.
Yeah.
Because you can make the audience a part of the show in whatever way makes sense.
It's awesome. And if you haven't been, you have to experience Rocky at the Civic Center this year. I think this year you absolutely have to. And it's super cool, taking the cult following of the movie and now, years ago, bringing it to stage on the Civic Center. What was that story, Vinny? How did this show get brought to Marion? Why did it get? Because I'm very curious. Because let me set the stage a little bit. Because little context, there hasn't been a show like this previously at the Civic Center to that point, where maybe you could say maybe it's what would you say? Maybe edgy or maybe sexually explicit in aspects.
Yeah,
and that is something that maybe this community didn't have on stage like that previously. So that is the context of bringing this show to Marion, to this area. So with that being the background, how did this come about?
No, you're dreadfully right. There was nothing like this in this town, or really anywhere locally at all, besides, the occasional showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show at SIU, which I think they did twice a year. I went to all of them when I was just barely old enough. I discovered Rocky Horror when I was in middle school, and I had already been doing theater for a while, and I found out just through my sheer obsession and just searching for anything and everything I could find about Rocky Horror online. I found out that you could do the live show, and I didn't even really know about the history at that point. And then I started to find out, it's an actual musical. And so let's jump forward a little bit. I'm 14 years old at this point when I first attempt to do a staged production of Rocky Horror Picture Show. So I'm 14. I have no job. I can't have a job. I have no car. I only have my family, and I just kind of beg them to do the show. Like, hey, can we do this big thing? And I was good enough at math, even though I did very poorly in math in school. I was good enough at math to do basic math. And I was like, we could make this much money doing this show, even if we do it here. And I was thinking small. I think one of the first places we approached was the Varsity Center in Carbondale. And it just never really transpired. And I think it's for the better because I think I was too young at that point to really take on something that ambitious. But it's not something I really forgot about. For years after, I just kept trying to think of ways we could do it on a small scale. I wasn't thinking big at all. But then Josh Benson from the Civic Center just said, why don't you just do it at the Civic Center? And I'm like, well, I thought that would just never, ever be accepted in the first place. He's like, yeah, that'd be fine. It'll be fine. In true Josh nature. Yeah, just do it. Yeah. So we did just do it, albeit almost getting shut down on more than one occasion by the mayor himself.
Oh, wow.
Bob Butler.
No kidding.
Tried to can us. Oh, can I say that?
We can bleep it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say that in anything you do, you're going to have a few people that just disagree with what you're doing. But the thing about Rocky is it's not a political thing. It's not a left or right. It's an all-encompassing social phenomenon. You'll see everybody into it. So that's kind of the beauty of it, is it doesn't matter who you are. But of course, some people just don't get it.
Right.
That's always going to be the case. Right. But I think more people get it than don't.
Sure. Yeah. So shout out to Josh too up there for just doing it. Just saying, hey, do it here.
Yeah, just do it here, and we did it.
Yeah.
And
is this the first year? Can we put this on the screen?
Let's see. Yes, that's year one. That is Rocky Horror Show 2012. From left to right, we have Andrew Turner, who played Eddie and Dr. Scott. There's me. I played the narrator the first year. That was the only other time besides this year that I've starred in the role.
Which is awesome. And I remember being in the audience for this, too, by the way.
Yeah, there's Claire Spears.
Claire does hair now.
Yeah. Claire... she has a new last name. I forget. Anyway, Sam. We'll just go Brian, Patrick. I can't see. Got some ensemble members. We got Joey. We have Jordan and Derek, who's still involved with the production on a directing level.
Awesome.
And we have wow. Yeah, that's
some familiar faces.
Yeah, and you could tell by the camera quality. We've been doing this a long time.
This was a film shot for sure. And really cool set piece as well.
Yeah, that's the first of many iterations of the Rocky Horror set. I really liked this production that was happening in Europe, this tour that was happening at the time. It might still be. And I wanted the set to kind of look like that. And so...
Yeah, super cool. The band, right?
Behind this...
Being up top.
Yeah. That's still how we do it to this day.
That's super cool. It's really, really cool to see the live band as well interacting with the show. They're, on the stage themselves. That's really cool. So that's really neat. So it got to Marion 2013, which is crazy. And so what was that response? How's it grown since then? How's it changed over the years? And yeah, can you just tell a little bit about that?
I mean, this thing just exploded.
Yeah.
We've never had really a completely sold out house. We've gotten close, but the energy is that of a sold out arena a lot of the times. Most of the time. Almost all the time.
Yeah.
There's nothing like this that I had ever experienced or that I've yet to experience in the theater world. It's the response is amazing.
Halloween, the timing of it, the time of the shows, why is that significant to Rocky Horror? Of course.
Yeah, it's just one of those things that it just found a home around that time. You wouldn't. I mean, you.
What's the significance of Midnight Double Feature Picture Show?
Do you mean the lyric from the song?
Yeah.
Well, so that opening song, Science Fiction Double Feature, is an homage to all the old movies. It's almost as if that Brad and Janet, the lead characters of Rocky Horror, are in one of those movies. So science fiction double feature is an homage to that old timey horror science fiction. You know, that's what that's all about.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about Halloween, I think it just found a home. You know, it just makes the most sense to do it at Halloween. You wouldn't have a Rocky Horror Christmas, you know,
Right.
or an Easter Rocky Horror, even though Rocky Horror gets done at all times of the year. But most of the time, you see it happen at Halloween.
Yeah. Makes sense. People dressing up already in costumes, and
there's everything about
Right.
it. It screams Halloween.
right, it does. So late night science fiction double feature show. So there's other significant numbers throughout the show. Of course, every number has its own, somebody's favorite, right? But what is the time warp?
The time warp is just a jump to the left and then a step to the right.
Right.
You put your hands on your hips and you bring your knees in tight. But it's the pelvic thrust that really drives you insane.
we might need a demonstration if you want. Yeah. Because there's a dance as well.
Yeah. And it's self-explanatory. Anyone can do it. So the time warp is okay. People try to explain what it actually is. Based on the story and the script, it's like this traditional interplanetary dance tradition. I do knows. It's one of those things that it doesn't make sense, but it's just it is what it is. The story of the time warp is Rocky Horror Show was coming together in that very first production in 1973, and the show wasn't really complete yet. One day, the director of the show said to Richard O'Brien, the writer, composer, "Look, I need something here. The show needs like something that the crowd can kind of get into. It's almost like a call and response type thing. We need that energy in this show." They left, and the next day, they came back with the time warp.
Wow.
So it's just one of those things. They're like, forget it. We'll just put it in the show.
And it turns out one of the most probably iconic numbers, I'd say, that probably everybody who's seen the show, I mean, that's probably one of them that sticks out.
It's on the level of like the Monster Mash now.
Right. Totally. No.
Yeah.
For sure. And it is. It's fun, too. It's fun if you go to the show, get up and do the time warp.
Yeah, exactly.
Participate in that.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes it super appealing as well, is that it comes with so many hit songs,
It does, yeah.
And, that's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is that the... So there's 2 acts to this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Act 1, Act 2. What are some of your favorite numbers? I think in Act 1, we've gone over a couple. Are there any other favorite numbers? I know you want to talk about in general, or even your numbers in the show that people can look forward to.
Oh, yeah. My favorite number of all, and not just because I'm in it, my favorite number of the entire show is Sweet Transvestite. I think that's, to me, is the most exciting number. And
that's the introduction to Frankenfurter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And just the attitude and just embodiment of confidence in that song. And just, it's a good song, too. That's the very first thing I ever saw whenever I was introduced to Rocky Horror. This is in MySpace days, and I'm just scrolling on MySpace, and I see this low quality, almost like VHS quality video on a embed, and I saw it, and I just was like, I saw a flash forward to the rest of my life. Wow. in a single second. I'm just, that's to me the most important song. For me, it's the most important song. Other songs that I love from Act 1, I love Over at the Frankenstein Place. I think it's a really pretty song. And there's a ton of stuff in the first act, and even in Act 2.
Yeah.
I'm Going Home is a beautiful song.
Oh, it is.
I'm trying to think.
So many. So many.
I love every song on the show.
Right.
I mean, there's a few ones that are kind of snoozers to me, but
But somebody, I'm sure, in the audience is gonna lean towards those songs. It's just it does, Vinny. You'll see a broad appeal of different sleuths of people at this show, which I think is just kind of just a fun night, a universality that it has, and maybe not everybody's gonna get it, like you said, but I think most people do.
Yeah,
most people have a favorite one.
I'll say this. It's one of those things. It doesn't matter if you're at the movie or you're seeing it live, but it has that same effect on everyone where everyone else around you is just losing their mind and having the greatest time and just responding in the most supportive and excited ways, to where if someone that has never seen this before, that's probably not their bag, they're going to see that, and it has that effect where it's like, all right, this is cool. You know, it's I forget what that's called, but it's like other people are super excited about something, are stoked on it, and then it's just like, well, I guess this is the thing to do.
Yeah, there's just kind of a something about being in a live theater and that type of show. I mean, people have been doing it for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. There's just something so, just human about the whole experience in general.
Yeah.
But the expression on stage, the being wowed, the performative aspects, and so what a great run in 13 years. And so this, we've talked about the response, but anything else you want to add to that context of the story of this? Any pieces we're missing to this?
No, I think with we've touched on this in a lot of different ways in this interview. I think it's really, really important to thank and appreciate the community, not only the Rocky Horror community, but the community that puts it on, and the people that are devoted enough to do this year after year. That's just on a local front, but on a global front, the Rocky Horror community we wouldn't be able to be here without the people keeping it going and the people that started it. I think it's really important. I think if nothing else, I think Rocky Horror has taught me in a really weird, unique way to remember and respect your elders, you know? Mm-hmm. Because not only were they there before you, but they walked so you could run.
Right. They kind of laid that groundwork.
Yes.
Right. Now,
in Rocky Horror World, it's all about those that came before us. We're just carrying the torch. Mm-hmm. And I love that our little Rocky Horror is kind of having a trajectory of its own, and that's in a similar way where we're keeping it going. But we've had faces come and go, but everyone's done a part to keep this phenomenon alive. Yeah.
And we've got another picture here. This is from the 2018 show. This kind of gives you a snapshot of some of the different numbers. What are we looking at, Vinny?
It's hard to say. At this, it's funny to say, at this juncture, it's almost like all the Rockies kind of bleed together for me. But I definitely recognize every single person on stage.
Right.
I think most of the people we see here in this photo are in the production again.
Wow.
In some capacity.
That's awesome.
This looks to me, wow. You could see too, just, from the first picture you showed to this one, just like how elevated it became too. Right. And it just keeps elevating every year too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. And this one, 2018. Mm-hmm. And gosh, there's been a lot of people that have came through and came as virgins,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
There's a lot of other cult aspects that we could touch on. Any anything that's worth mentioning for this podcast?
I think we've touched all the important areas.
Yeah.
But again, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's ever been involved and still remains. It's the people that keep it going.
Sure.
And it's the people that keep coming, not only to be in the show, but to be at the show.
Yeah. Shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to Skyline Creek. Shout out to Vinny. Shout out to the directors, performers, the community, everybody, because it's a fun, unique thing. Super good, guys. You have to see this show if you haven't already. If you have, go back, of course. It's a great old time. So there's shows on Halloween night.
We open on Halloween night, and it's 2 nights only, so it's Halloween night and November 1st. But there's 4 shows, 7 p.m. and midnight, both nights. I'm at that age where midnight is starting to become more and more distant, and I can't. I've just it's not even in my realm of thought. what performing at midnight. A full scale production. See, I can't even think about it.
Right. And I went to the one, gosh, I think last year, and it was a midnight show, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it was a long night, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And but I know you've mentioned some great numbers. There's one of my favorites. I think it might be. I don't know if it's "I'm Going Home" or if it's "Don't Dream It, Be It." Is that one?
Yes.
What is that context of the song there? And "Don't Dream It, Be It." That kind of, to me, kind of just shows what Rocky kind of is.
Yes.
So could you elaborate maybe on that?
Don't Dream It, Be It is everyone finds their own connection to that sentence, but I think that is the most important statement in the entire show, and one of the most important statements in the entire theatrical gamut. It's one of the most important statements of the world to me. Everyone finds their own connection to it. A lot of people find self-realization for who they are. A lot of people come to Rocky Horror not really knowing who they are, but discovering who they are, So it could be a number of things. A lot of people find sexual liberation and realization and actualization. But it's an all-encompassing thing. Don't dream it, be it.
That's a great explanation, Vinny.
Yeah. Also, yeah, it could. I've always looked at it as don't just think about doing it, do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like be a step above what you are. Elevate. Become something.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's perfect. And I do think that is a perfect way to kind of sum this all up.
Yep.
To be honest. And so I just want to thank you, Vinny, for coming on this show. And me personally, Vinny, this has to be a must-see show because a little more context from just me personally. I feel like fans of you, because I've been a big fan of you for a long time, right? And fans of yours, Vinny, have been wanting to see this for more than a decade. So I feel like it's an amazing show to see, and I'm super excited to see you doing it. And I feel like I think we've been waiting on this for like a decade or more.
Yeah, well, I've starred in it once. I directed it twice, but I've never really been in it. And I've always saw myself as a Frankenfurter. I've always saw myself in that role.
Yeah.
It spoke to me in that way. And I was like, I finally said that this is the year. Don't dream it, be it. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm doing it. And I'm Frank, and everyone come and see it. Hopefully, I don't fall down in my heels. Hopefully, I don't trip.
Oh gosh. Well, if you do, maybe someone will give you some some shit for it too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I better stay on my feet.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm excited for this show, Vinny. I'm excited you're doing it. And yeah, thanks for coming on. Any last words?
Nope. Don't dream it, be it. That's my last words. Don't dream it, be it.
You heard it.
Also,
yeah.
A mental mind fuck can be nice.
Cue the outro. You heard it here, folks. Rocky Horror Picture Show, live at the Marion Civic Center. Vincent Segretario as Frankenfurter. We've been waiting on this, like I said, for a decade or more. So get your tickets at Marion Cultural and Civic Center website. MarionCCC.com. Buy your tickets. Skyline Creek Production, October 31st, November 1st, 7 p.m. at midnight. Vinny, thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you at the show.
All right. Not too bad.
Yeah, I gotta try this.
Yeah.